same time, like I understand people.
The views and events expressed here are totally whacked and are not necessarily the views of anyone.
Choose your destiny.
Hopping back and forth, I think that's more than depression. Like you having strong, that's a strong mood change. And like, yeah, I think, like I said, I think it's more than, I think what we're calling just like, and I don't say simple depression, but it's much more simpler than bipolar. So
You talking about depression? Depression
yes,
is
it's
like an umbrella term, anyways. Like I was saying, they don't really understand it. They're intertwined. It's all mixed in together. You could call it bipolar. You could call it depression. You could call it, what was the other one? Freaking the other term. Call it whatever you want. It's they don't, like I say, they don't really understand this stuff. They don't really get it. They're just giving it these terms to help us like talk about it, but this stuff is all intertwined with each other.
so
You know,
how are they diagnosing people if they don't understand it?
they don't really understand that this is changes on a regular basis. Like they just came up with that first term we was talking about in 1970.
Which one?
The
Depression?
mental depression, the mental MDD term. That's
Um,
recent. They
let me ask this because I've kind of somewhat lumped in, you know, the trust and belief in God. Does that really have, you think that that has a something to do with how someone can be affected by any of these diseases, I guess you can say?
well, I think like I mentioned earlier, religion um, is a tool that people use for therapy, I think. So I think that in a lot of cases, religion actually will help with this if you're doing it properly, anyways. You know, I think a lot of people would say they would find solace in their religion to help them keep going. Because for me, that's what I would go to, and I would be like, it's against God killing yourself. And that's one of the things that would, because it says that, what do they say? It's the worst sin. So you
Yeah.
absolutely straight up going to hell. So, but then the flip side of that is the suffering. And we were talking about the animals and the habitats. And so they can't commit suicide. So then they just freaking suffer their whole life. Like it, you know, is that living? Is that being alive? Is that what God intended for us?
Well, I mean, bro, um, I don't know if that's a good question to ask. I mean, we got human beings locked up, bro. Is that a good place? Like, yeah, I,
It's the same for me. Yes, it's fucked up in both cases. It's a sentient being. I think that we
but
got ourselves so
but the
twisted
but
in
the
thinking that
but
we're above God's
I,
creation. We're not. We're
no
a
no
part
no
of
no
it.
no 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 no. I mean, I don't think of it that way, but I do believe that, all right, the majority probably aren't as dangerous to us, but there are elements where there's certain levels to the game that we gotta recognize and not just be stupid. You know what I'm saying? But for the most part, and I don't know, man. Look, instead of doing, should we, the ones who's just unfixable? I mean, do we just go on and just kill them? Or, because if it's inhumane to put them or even an animal, either way, instead of putting them in a cage, is it better for us to off them so they don't have to off themselves?
I mean, that's an argument. So, but when it comes to humans, I wouldn't put that on the table. But what I'm saying is, um, what about the humans who commit suicide slowly?
Well, I mean, people are this like this.
Like
I mean,
eating too
I'm not.
much, smoking, doing
Yeah, yeah, yeah,
drugs.
yeah. No, yeah. I mean, any really. I guess you can say. What's when you're prescribing to yourself, you're self-medicating.
Yeah,
Yeah. Um. I think that. I mean, of course, it's a band-aid for all, no matter what level of it is, because I mean, if you're taking, you know, different pharmaceuticals or even natural enhance or whatever you want to call them, things that's gonna alter your mind state, legally or illegally. Um, I don't think that that's necessarily resolving any of the issues. It could actually be making it worse. So, and for some, I think it really is because the
and that's what I'm saying. I don't think we have proper treatments for this. We don't really understand it, and it needs to be an area of a lot of attention needs to be put on it, and
yeah.
money. Doing what we do 3 to 4 nights a week. King Chaka NT.
I got this.
From the
She
back
starts
seat.
shooting.
That dude was like, "Ow!"
What was that?
Outside the car,
That nigga
deputies'
got
body
popped.
cameras capturing the bullets flying through the air.
We got shots fired
couldn't
up
have been
here.
a straight
We need
shot. It had
backup
to be-
immediately. Start
Are you-
EMS. Start EMS.
What
We got
the
a
fuck?
civilian. We got a civilian hit.
The deputy.
Looks like we got us another hit. Yep.